Good evening, customers of Knowhere Games and Comics. It's me, Matthias, here with the ever-so-talkative and wonderful Richard Robello.
Brady lost.
Wow, he spoke. Here to do the Final Order Cutoff video for this week. If you're not familiar with Final Order Cutoff, this is something we as comic retailers deal with every Monday, where we get our chance to tweak the orders for comics that are coming out 3 weeks later. This Final Order Cutoff is for comics that are on the Final Order Cutoff for January 6th, and comics that will be releasing on January 29th, but there might be a few on different dates because that's how Final Order Cutoff works now and then, just to screw with us. But the big reason why this is important to you, this is your chance to hear what is going on Final Order Cutoff, and your last chance, therefore, to get any order adjustments in that will guarantee you any specific quantity or covers you want. If you want to get 20 copies of Go-Go Power Rangers number 28, now's the time to tell me so I can guarantee you'll get that. And if you want that specifically to be cover B, tell me. We'll make sure it happens. Because as long as you get me those orders in before Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we will be able to make that happen. So please feel free to follow along with us at home at previewsworld.com/finalordersdue. George Sangster, already on the ball, has that link in the comments so you can check it out there. As well as once you've chosen any covers or new items you want to add to your pull or special order or request and pre-order, you just need to leave a comment in the comments. You can message us at the Facebook page for Knowhere Games and Comics. You can email us at knowheregamesandcomics@gmail.com. You can give us a call. You can swing by in person and write down any of your requests on the pull order adjustment sheet, or any other way you can actually get a hold of myself, my business partner Ken, or Stacy, and get your name and what you want to us. We will make it happen. And then Richard's also here to talk things up and give things flavor.
I hired a guy with a banner in the plane last week.
Yeah, so that works, yeah. Just go back to talking football.
Going to 49ers. I can talk full football, but I don't know if your viewers want to talk football.
Yeah, and George is correct, because as long as we've been doing these videos, which has been a couple months now, actually, I Make Boys Cry has been on the Final Order Cutoff, and it's never coming off because the book's never coming out. It's something. But anyway, enough of that. Let's dive into all the awesome comics that are on Final Order Cutoff this Monday and talk about some amazing things that will be coming out in 3 weeks on January 29th, and we'll start off with...
Boom!
Boom! There we go. We'll dive directly into things. We did not look over this list in advance, so once again, this is completely off the cuff, and we'll be trying to figure this out as you guys do. Remember, you can go to previewsworld.com/finalordersdue to follow along, and don't say the B cover ever. I will do another live stream about that, but yeah, B covers don't exist. Go-Go Power Rangers is hitting the 28th issue in 3 weeks on Final Order Cutoff with some great covers, of course. They're doing the little... yearbook and homage photos, as well as some really cool Instagram style photo covers right now, and it ties into the big event Necessary Evil. Also coming up, we have the unlocked, and yes, we unlocked it so you can order them, black and white variants of Power Rangers Teenage Mutant Turtles #1. I'm actually really looking forward to that. I've already bought the book and got it signed by Kevin Eastman. I'm still going to get the black and white variant.
Yeah, it's a cool looking variant, and I'm not actually reading that series or collecting it. I do know that all week online I've seen people talking about this, so it's going to be a big one. Make sure you get your orders in. I think, if I remember reading correctly, it's supposed to still be a low print run on that, even though... Yeah,
it's hard to say because the print run hasn't been set, obviously, since we're on Final Order Cutoff for it, but I really don't think a lot of stores I just don't think a lot of stores are going to qualify because they're not paying enough attention, I hate to say, on what you need to do to get that. So we have qualified. We will be getting them. Make sure you get your orders in if you want one. It's going to be cool, but it is going to probably be a rare variant.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous cover, too. And then we also got Something Killing the Children #5. I believe, is that 505? Or is it 6 in this series? I can't remember.
I believe it was a 6-issue series.
To an end soon. Yeah. But these... this is a great read. The cover's awesome. There's an FOC one, too, that hasn't been revealed yet of what the cover's going to look like. So, we'll find out where this story is going. Picking back up with Erica Slaughter. So, yeah, this is the penultimate. So there's one more after this.
Yeah, and there's a great exclusive cover for FOC, so perfect time to get it in, that is done by David LaFuente. And while it is unfortunately not on Previews World, I have seen it. It is really nice looking. It has Erica Slaughter in full mask next to a much more innocent looking Erica Slaughter, which is really cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can just pretty much guarantee that the FOC variants for this title and a couple of the other ones from Boom are just always fantastic. They usually don't reveal them to the last second.
You know, if somebody
bummer,
makes
but-
the effort of commenting in the comments of this video, I will actually sneak out the image I have and hopefully not get in trouble of La Fuente's cover, because I do have it and it is really cool.
I'm sure it's already online. Someone's probably already dropped it somewhere.
I'm sure of it. So moving on to Dark Horse. Dark Horse is doing a hardcover of their Critical Role Chronicles of Exandria, the Mighty Nine. So that one is definitely going to be something that should be on the radar of all you RPG fans. This is not the series currently coming out in comics. In fact, this is actually, I believe, a brand new original graphic novel. As far as I can tell, by Taliesin Jaffe and Sarah Jaffe. But obviously we know Critical Role has got a huge fan following here. It sells out constantly, as Richie pointed out, I believe, on last week's live stream.
Yeah, every time I'm in here, someone's asking about it, and they're gone.
Yeah, so get your orders in. That one's going to be a huge one. That one actually isn't coming out till April 1st, but perfect time to get your order in.
And aren't they doing a new TV series for that, or something, new movie, or I don't know, whatever?
I don't know. Let's ask the audience. Does anybody know over there? Are we getting a TV series for Critical Role or anything? Yeah.
They got funding to do an animation for their first campaign.
There you go.
There it is. Yeah.
Animation.
Thank you,
series.
Trey. We're going to get an animated first campaign of Critical Role. That sounds interesting. Other big ones, yeah. Frankenstein Undone. I love that Mike Mignola cover.
Yeah.
Mike Mignola's writing it with Scott
Mignola's
Allen.
writing it, and he's doing cover B, or the B cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that he's credited
I
right there,
don't
you
know
know,
what the
because it
beef would
says
be.
Penn Stenbeck.
Yeah, that's weird, but it's clearly a Mignola cover.
Yeah.
This one is the Mary Shelley's Frankenstein creator. Basically, she's, well, I'm guessing the creator of Frankenstein. So
Yes, Dr. Frankenstein.
Dr. Frankenstein. Frankenstein being the monster. It's kind of a weird
Yeah.
solicit. Confused me for a second. Lies dead in the icy grip of the Arctic, and the monster searches for a new purpose. Just as he thinks he's found one of the group of unlikely companions, a disaster strikes, and the monster's catapulted out of Mary Shelley's novel and into the world of Hellboy.
Ooh, it's actually going to be Hellboy universe. That makes it a lot more
This looks
interesting.
cool. So it's going to bridge the Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, the original story, with Mike Mignola's Frankenstein Underground into the Hellboy universe, which will be cool.
Yeah, so I mean, and with Scott Allen and Mike Mignola writing, it's directly in the Hellboy universe. So maybe we'll see some BPRD, maybe Hellboy himself. But yeah, that one's a 5-issue miniseries that starts in 3 weeks. So make sure you get your orders in. 2 really good-looking covers there. Strayed, the really great story of a cat turned god, is actually going to be getting a graphic novel adaptation. We sold out of that every issue, so if you didn't get it, now's the time to get the orders in. Thank you, George. In the comments now, you can see a photo of the unlocked cover by David LaFuente for Something's Killing Children, number 5.
Let me click on it.
Yeah, don't do that. That might kill the live stream. Let's see. Moving on, we're going to jump to DC Comics, where a lot of it is, I mean, you know, DC Comics, it rolls on. There's nothing too often crazy or new there. I mean, Action Comics is Action Comics, but if you weren't already reading Action Comics and you want to, now it's time to hop in. There's a great hardcover collecting all of the classic Tales of the Demon, that is Ra's al Ghul, and there's various Batman tales, so that might be something you want to hop on and grab.
Since we just did the Ra's al Ghul, the Crimes Passion, this DC Crimes of Passion #1, I think it's just a one-shot, but the cover really caught my attention because it's got that really cool vintage vibe of a crime
Very
story.
noir, yeah.
And very noir, very kind of like risque with the pose on there.
I'm actually looking in for some secret information that will make this all the more interesting.
Okay,
if you want to keep
I
talking.
will-
Yeah,
well,
here we go, actually,
I was trying
So-
to talk, but you took away the creators that I was going to talk about.
Actually, well, no, because that's the thing. So, unfortunately, if you just go to Previews World, it just says the creators on there. I have a little secret sheet that we just loaded up of what creators are working on what stories. So, we're going to have a Batman story by Steve Orlando and Greg Smallwood.
The Plastic Man by Cena Grace and Mike Horton.
Yeah, the man who draws pugs all the time. Wildcat, our infamous Golden Age boxer heroes, Stephanie Phillips and Riley Rossmo with Jordi Belair doing the coloring.
There's a lot of people on that one, actually.
Yeah, Slam Bradley. That's one of my favorite guys. Now, do you remember what was Slam Bradley?
No, I don't.
Slam Bradley was the man from Detective Comics #1, known for, and excuse my incredibly racist language, but this is how they worded in Detective Comics #1, slinging chinks around by their ponytails. Wow. Detective Comics #1, DC, that was not your most PC of eras. But we're getting the character back, which is great because I loved him when Ed Brubaker brought him back in Catwoman. He will hopefully still be his great detective self, and Matt Groom is going to be handling that along with Anthony Spey, Jason Paz, and Arif Prianto.
Yeah, see, I don't remember that because I'm not as old as you, so I didn't get to read Detective Comics #1 when it came out. The other stories in there, we got Batwoman. Do you want to go through all the creators on that?
May as well,
Batwoman's being done by Jordan Clark, Kieran McCowan, Dexter Vines, and Adriano Lucas.
Dexter Vines, one of the nicest inkers.
Glare on the screen there. I saw. Sorry about that.
The Pied Piper gets Sam Johns, James Tynion IV, Gleb Melnikov, and Luis Guerrero. I want to point out this is Sam Johns' first DC work. So she's been brought on by James Tynion. I'm kind of excited to see that.
Then there's a story from Green Arrow and Black Canary by Philip Kennedy Johnson, Paul Fry, and Mark Farmer and Jeremy Cox.
Yeah.
That was the first time it continued on to another line.
Yeah.
I get two goofy ones.
Yeah, Philip Kennedy Johnson, though, the writer on his Green Arrow, Black Canary, actually is the same guy who brings us Last God. We have Catwoman with Liz Erickson, just Abel, and John Callas.
Then the Question. I really enjoy the fact that they brought the Question back. I'm enjoying that.
I think you really enjoy the writer when you read that.
Yeah. Is it Rom or Ram?
Rom.
Rom V? I would assume it's Rom, but I didn't want to get it totally wrong. Rom V, who did Savage Shores. These Savage Shores. Fantastic book.
Yeah.
Matthias is the one that turned me on to that, and I'm glad he did because it was a fantastic read. So Rom V and John Paul Leon are doing the Question. So, I mean, just off that alone, I might just pick this book up. Plus the covers, again, really, really cool cover.
And then we get my favorite DC couple, Nightwing and Batgirl, Dick Grayson, Barbara Gordon, written by Jay Baruchel, Andy Tong, and Steve Oliff. Like, it's a good setup. There's some great heroes, like both big names and, you know, kind of background C-level characters. But, you know, in great mixture of creative teams, I'm looking forward to it.
So a couple things to point out on this one. This one, even though the FOC is today, it doesn't come out to February 5th. It is an 80-page giant-sized book, so it's going to be $10. Don't get scared away from the price because it is an oversized book, and it looks really cool. The artwork on the cover.
Yeah, Yasmin Putri did a great job on that.
It's fantastic. So I'm hoping 80 pages is going to be one of the square bounds or something like that, so it comes out really nice and easy to read without destroying your comic book.
Yeah, and I got to point out the Imperials are watching us now. Sean Stone just chimed in and say good evening. I believe he just wrapped up his really badass Death Trooper armor, so hopefully he'll come into the store and one day and we can get some photos and show it off to everyone.
Sean, the gentleman I was speaking to when he in here, I remember talking to him about his armor. Looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, it's really cool looking. There is a Detective Comics annual coming out, written by Peter Tomasi with Sumet Kumar and Eduardo Riso doing art. It looks rather interesting and definitely comes out of the Tom King run City of Bane storyline. Maybe he has to deal with a certain dead butler.
Insert some joke from George.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got.
Leviathan is a hardcover.
Yeah,
Did
if you missed that.
Skip over anything? Sorry. Got some
I think we're
dollar
doing
books,
all right,
Flash, Joker, Harley, Criminal Sanity number 3 of 9.
We sold out of number 2. We have a restock on the way, but because of that, you might want to get your orders in for number 3 if you want to keep on that. I think most of it's
Last God is fantastic. If you're not reading that, I know it's on issue 4, but
issue 4 on Final Order Cutoff. There's 3 issues out now. You can come grab. Actually, did we hit issue 3 already?
I don't think issue 3's come out yet.
Yeah, I think we're just on issue 2.
It's on issue 2, so you can still catch up.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic read, especially if you're into fantasy.
Oh my God, I've been wanting to talk about this. This was really Suicide Squad number 2 is on Final Order Cutoff. You read Suicide Squad number 1, right?
I did not.
Oh, it was so good.
I know we were talking it up. We flipped through it. We flipped through it like crazy. Ray last paged it for us all. Yeah. And then we counted all of the new characters in there. There was something like 647 or something like that.
Yeah, a ton of new characters. Several of them are now members of the Suicide Squad. We have a new leader to the Suicide Squad. I'm going to be somewhat spoilerish here and just tell you Amanda Waller's no longer leading the squad. So this is a big deal. Tom Taylor, the guy who wrote Deceased, is writing it. It's amazing. The artwork is brilliant. You have these absolutely amazing variant covers being done by Ryan Benjamin, as well as we're getting some by Matina on alternate issues. Hop in on this. This is crazy.
Sorry to backtrack just a little bit. Mad Magazine. I know it's not technically a comic. Mad Magazine number 12, which clearly is not number 12. It says in the solicit that it's got new material, but when is that magazine ending the new material?
You know, to be honest, I think it isn't. You know, like
it seems like they decided to change their mind on ending it.
Yeah, like somebody at DC will end up watching this and yell at me for it, but I mean, they just keep adding new material, which I'm okay with. I don't see a reason
I hope
to
it
end
never goes away.
Yeah.
I think the threat of ending it probably got people buying it again, and that's probably why they keep it going. But
yeah, I mean, we got the great Sergio Aragonés, one of the greatest Mad contributors and one of the greatest guys in comics, actually doing new content. So you know, I'm looking forward to it. Of course, we have The Lost Carnival, which is a great Dick Grayson novel that'll be now, that's, I believe, a middle reader targeted novel, but great for all ages. That'll be available on Final Order Cutoff. So if you need more Dick in your life, Nightwing's there for you. Brian Michael Bendis is bringing his full barrage of Portland-based friends. Brian Michael Bendis, Matt Fraction, Jody Hauser, who actually lives in L.A., and Greg Rucka are all going to be working on a really cool one-shot called Superman Heroes, which deals with the fallout of Superman's big reveal that he is
Superman.
Oh, was that who he was?
No, Clark Kent reveals he's Superman.
There
Because Clark Kent's the alter ego.
Is it really?
Yeah, apparently people at DC forgot this. They did it backwards.
Okay. But yeah, no, the big reveal, obviously, that happened in Superman 18. We do have a restock of those in first printing if you do need them. But yeah, this will be a big one, you know, to see how this affects the various characters. Everybody from Matt Fraction's Jimmy Olsen, who he's kind of in the miniseries there. Greg Rucka is writing the miniseries on Lois Lane. And God knows what Jodie Hauser is going to bring to it, but every time she brings something, it is a tank and a half of awesome. So
yeah, not to get completely off topic, but just kind of discuss that. I think a lot of people forget that the great thing about Superman is that his costume is actually Clark Kent.
Yeah, no, I mean, arguably, yeah.
You
didn't get that Kill Bill line.
Alter ego is a human.
Yeah.
So we can discuss that another time.
Clark Kent is his modest attempt at saying what he believes humans are like. It was probably my favorite line from Kill Bill that I think nailed it right on the head is, you know, this is what he thinks of us. We're all big loafs that are slow to, you know, accomplish things wearing glasses and...
bad vision.
Yeah. I mean, he's not wrong. I have bad vision.
I don't. I got LASIK.
Ah, fancy tactic. All right. Moving on. Dynamite's got some fun ones. Once again, Dynamite always has a ton of stuff that has a ton of different variant covers. So make sure you go to previewsworld.com/finalordersdue. Link in the comments to choose which amazing covers you want on books like Betty Page. George R. R. Martin's very popular Game of Thrones book, or Song of Ice and Fire book, Clash of Kings, is starting back up with a new #1, adapting I believe Clash of Kings is the third novel in the Song of Ice and Fire. That sounds right. Somebody wanted to correct me if I'm wrong, but you know.
Sorry.
Yeah, so that's getting finally adapted. We're going to have some great covers by Mike S. Miller, I am sure. Yes, it looks like he's doing the A cover. It's still going to be, it's Landry Walker doing the adaptation. Mel Ruby, whose artwork is brilliant in the interiors. So if you want something that, you know, does Game of Thrones more like the books than the TV show did, that's your way to go. Beautiful artwork. You can't go wrong.
Yeah, the only reason I haven't started reading the novels yet is I'm waiting for him to finish it, so I'm not as disappointed as I was at the end of HBO series. But
well, you know,
so I'd be really mad if I never got the end of the story.
I'm 5 books in, and you know, still waiting on the 6th book to release. It's only been like 5 or 6 years I've been waiting. Red Sonja, Vampirella, Betty, and Veronica also coming out with its 8th issue. Some wonderful covers. The best, obviously, is always the Braga cover, but if you disagree, tell me otherwise with your money and place an order for that cover that you like more than Braga's. Or place the order for Braga's cover, because it's beautiful.
You know, I would, except for my pull is so lengthy that, like, if it wasn't for that and me getting so many books every week, I'd definitely be getting just for covers alone, that and the Betty Page.
Yeah.
Because they're absolutely gorgeous artwork.
Wonderful homages on the Betty Pages, too. So IDW's putting out a lot more of the same. My favorite one, though, there is going to be the Star Wars Artisan Edition, which is going to reprint classic original artwork from the Star Wars comics and Marvel. It's only $50. $50, which is an unbelievable price for the artist editions. the editor of the artist editions actually happens to live down the road from here, so that's always cool. But yeah, make sure you get an order in for that.
And not to be forgotten, but I'm a big Star Wars fan, but the Star Trek Picard I know is a very popular comic book because I've been here when people have asked for it, and you don't have any more. Or
actually, I do have some more first printings. I just got to restock. Yeah.
Great, but they're doing a second print on issue number 1. So if you've missed out and you don't get in here in time to get that, there's actually right there on the shelf.
Got 2 or 3 copies.
Some of the copies of 1 and 2, it looks like. You can get a second printing because it's a fantastic thing, and the CBS show starts soon, so this leads into that.
You're definitely going to want that before that show starts up. And then, of course, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We had a huge signing that was an amazing turnout, thanks to all of you guys, with Kevin Eastman here for issue 100. Issue 102 is on FOC this Monday. I believe issue number 101 comes out this Wednesday. So make sure you get your orders in on that. And then, the big one. We talked Turtles. Also celebrating its 35th anniversary last year was Usagi Yojimbo, Stan Sakai's masterful Ronin Rabbit. The great samurai is getting reprints of his classic stories done in color in Usagi Yojimbo Color Classics. And I know I'm going to be a fool and rebuy all of them with the new color. I'm super excited on this.
Tell you what, to make it easier on your pocketbook, I'll give you the $4 for the new one. I'll take your old one off your hand because it's old. You don't need it anymore. New one's all pretty and in color.
Yeah. I don't know about that one. I think that Stan actually personalized mine, but yeah.
Right.
But no, make sure you get that. That'd be cool.
Then.
If you've read Usagi Yojimbo for ages, you're gonna want it in color. If you've never read it, oh my God, it's amazing for all ages, for all fans of any type. It is a great book.
I think I'm gonna have to get it too.
Yeah. So moving into Image Comics, we're getting a few trade paperbacks and hardcovers. Black Science is getting its newest hardcover. Battle Pug, which was a great book, is getting a trade paperback. Die is getting its second volume. It is just the day of trades.
Ice Cream Man has got a crazy cool homage to the Action Comics with Superman.
Yeah, nothing like the Ice Cream Man taking his ice cream truck and just slamming it into the wall to save someone, questionably.
Philadelphia is a big, huge hit. That's hitting issue 3.
Yeah. I think we just sold out of every single copy that's come through these doors, and I just keep restocking.
It's just become a monster book. A lot of people really loving that.
Speaking of monster books, Monstrous is back. Yes, Marjorie Liu and Sana Takeda have returned to one of the greatest Image series, probably outside of Walking Dead or Saga. Definitely want to hop on that, get your orders in. That one particularly should be a big issue at issue 25.
One of the few new ones that are starting up is Protector #1. I was looking at that. It kind of looked like it was a mix of a bunch of different things. A little bit of Conan, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Kind of reminded me a bit of Akira.
Yeah, it's kind of like a mix of all the things I loved when I was reading when I was younger. So it might be worth checking out. It's an Image book. It's a #1. Can't go wrong. Usually Image #1s are good to just have in your collection.
Yeah, it's got a number of artists working on it, as well as 2 writers, Daniel Benson and Simon Roy. The artwork is being done by Artyom Trakhanov.
Actually, they describe it as equal parts Conan the Barbarian, Mad Max, and The Expanse, so I wasn't too far off.
Yeah. So, fun one. That'll be out January 29th. Make sure you get your orders in if you would like one. Let's see. I think everything else is to be expected. Oh wait, Sex Criminals is coming back. I love Sex Criminals. It is Matt Fraction and Chip Zdarsky at their
Weirdest
best.
thing to say out loud.
I know, it really is. Actually, my favorite story was Matt Fraction when he first got his paycheck for the title. On the check in the memo section, it said for Sex Criminals, and he said it was a really embarrassing thing he had to deal with. Trying to cash that at the bank.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah,
probably would have scribbled it out.
Yep. But not only is Sex Criminals coming back, it is going to be getting a XXX cover. They started this with the last storyline that each issue has the traditional cover and then a XXX cover that comes bagged with all sorts of fun jokes written by Chip Zdarsky on it. But the interior cover on this one is a XXX mature cover by Jason Latour, the creator of Spider-Gwen. So that should be an interesting cover.
Better question is, the book hasn't been out that long. Why was he getting that cut a physical check?
Yeah.
That's old school.
That I would say that's Matt though to a T. Matt is that old school guy. But yeah, so I'm super excited for that. I mean, I know we got a lot of Chip Zdarsky fans. Not too many people, I think, have really had the chance to dive into a lot of Matt Fraction stuff because he hasn't been writing as much recently. But it is going to be a big deal. You're definitely going to want to get involved in. Let's see. Then we get to the big one, the one we always spend way too much time talking about, Marvel.
Marvel, and we're done.
Yeah, and we'll start off with the fact that there's a facsimile edition of Amazing Spider-Man 347.
The artwork's still out on it. They couldn't put the image there because it's
Yeah.
a facsimile of a book that's been out since 80s, 86, 87.
Well, I gotta say, this one's a perfectly timed one because those of you who are reading Venom right now are reading Venom Island, and if you want to see the start of Venom Island, well, you needed to have read 347 where it took place.
Yep. It's a great cover with Venom holding the skull, the purple background.
Yeah, the
Gorgeous.
skull and the Spider-Man
Hamlet
mask. Yeah.
Then there's a new story for Amazing Spider-Man, Daily Bugle. It's going to be a 5-part series done by Matt Johnson and Mac Chater.
Yeah.
Is it Chater? Chater.
Mac
Chater?
Chater, yeah.
One T Chater. I'm going with Chater.
Yeah.
He can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong.
Yeah, wow. Matt Johnson's somebody I haven't seen in a good while. Like, he actually did a really, really great Vertigo one-shot on Papa Midnight. Yeah, we will definitely get that added to you for you, George. But, yeah, he did Papa Midnight back in the day. He did Incognito, which Dark Horse, I believe, still does. But really brilliant writer, normally known for doing African-American characters. So it'll be interesting to see him doing Spider-Man with this Daily Bugle storyline along with Mac.
You know what's awesome is I was going to jokingly offer to sell my copy to George about the 347, but it was recently given to me because I had the whole run. I was missing that one, and a friend of mine gifted me his, which was really cool.
So, Avengers 30. Avengers has been selling out nonstop. People keep giving me post-final order cutoff requests for it. So get your orders in before final order cutoff. We all want to figure out who the new Star brand is. We will find it out in issue number 30. Get your orders in on that. Then
Avengers of Wastelands #1. It's a 5-part series by Ed Brisson and Jonas Scharf. This is spinning out of technically it was the
Dead Man
Logan series, the Old Man Logan
Universe.
where they killed him off. And at the very end of that, you get Danny Cage becoming worthy of lifting Mjolnir.
Yeah, no, that was quite a big deal seeing Luke Cage and Jessica Jones's daughter all of a sudden becoming a superhero.
So now we're getting a new Avengers team in that universe, which will be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed that universe. The Old Man Logan, Old Man
Yeah, it
Hawkeye,
kind
and all
of
that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
So,
it kind of
good
lives in its
story.
own like Mad Max,
Yeah.
like Lone Wolf and Cub tone of America's future. And then on top of that, it's Ed Brisson, the guy who brought us X-Force. Should be a fun one.
Speaking of Old Man Quill or Old Man Hawkeye and all that, in one of the Old Man Hawkeyes, Venom merges with Madrox, one of the Madrox characters.
Really?
And on the upcoming Venom: The End,
Mhm.
I put this in a chat with you earlier. Looks like Venom's got the Madrox kind of symbol on him. Just saying.
I'd be okay. Wow, man.
I was noticing
man-
that as I was looking at the
multiple man-
solicit for it. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one. Speaking of things that end, Captain America: The End. We're getting quite a few of the ends actually in 3 weeks. We'll get Captain America: The End, which is written and drawn by Eric Larson, the same man who brings the Savage Dragon.
Yeah, just him doing that alone made me want to add it to my pool.
Yeah. Captain Marvel: The End, which is written by the great Kelly Thompson, who writes the main Captain Marvel series, and we're getting Carmen Carnero doing that. That'll be the final. The end, if you're not familiar with it, are stories that Marvel's been doing for some time, where they're the last story you get of these characters before they die, or something tragic happens where there would be no stories to proceed.
Yeah. It's not the actual end of the runs. I had a friend of mine ask me that or say, hey, did you know they're ending Captain America? I was like, no, it's not really the end. It's the end, like, way eventually.
Yeah. But we're also getting a second printing of Conan Serpent War with a great cover that has Moon Knight as well as Solomon Kane on it. And we're on the final order cutoff for the final issue of Jason Aaron's Conan run before he switches it over to Jim Zub and great local artist Eric Geist. Deadpool's getting a The End, which is written by Joe Kelly. It's like the best Deadpool writer ever. You got me sold. Yeah, Joe Kelly and Mike Hawthorne doing a final story for Deadpool. That'll be interesting.
kind of looks like a poster for a movie for Deadpool too. So that's interesting.
Deadpool 3.
Yep, could be. We'll see.
Doctor Strange is getting a The End.
End.
Man, this is going to be a crazy 5th week in
Leia
January.
Williams and Philippe Andrade.
I do love Leia Williams.
The cover of that is absolutely, that's badass.
Yeah,
cover. It's
Raza.
a great cover. These actually look like they could be movie posters.
Yeah.
They're that cool.
And they're all going to be one-shots. They're not miniseries. You just pick up the one and you're done. You get a full story for just about $4 or $5.
Doctor Strange hits issue 2. That's the new Doctor Strange, where he's a doctor
Surgeon
again.
Supreme. Great Marvel X variant for that, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Marvel X variants are cool. So that's the new thing going on this month.
Yeah.
Let's see. Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's a poster. Never mind.
Yeah.
That's coming up. So teaser.
Yeah, a lot of posters coming up there.
Get some of your X titles in there, but we'll keep moving.
Fantastic Four Annual 6, which I believe was the first appearance of Annihilus, if I am correct. Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, you can't go wrong on that for $5.
I've been telling you since before Endgame Annihilus is coming to the MCU, and now they're putting them on in a bunch of random comic books, so get ready.
Hawkeye Freefall, which actually has sold wonderfully. I think it was a great series, or great #1 issue. Matthew Rosenberg did a great job. Otto Schmidt's artwork was beautiful. If you love it, get it on your pull list. Get your orders in. Issue #2 order cutoff is this Monday. I want to know how many I should order.
Yep.
Yeah, look at that, floating magically from the ethereal ghost of Knowhere Games and Comics.
The question I have is the one they lead the solicit with: is who the heck is Ronan? Who's the new Ronan?
I want to say that just outright says who the fuck is Ronan.
Well, I was trying to be family friendly in our live stream, but whatever.
We're gonna get kicked off YouTube for that.
Oh Lord, we're not. Well, yeah, you're just destroying my YouTube channel because now they got that kid thing going on. I don't.
So you were talking up Immortal Hulk all day. Tell me a little bit about Immortal Hulk as we go into number 30.
I don't
why do
know
people need
anymore
to know
what's
this?
going on with Immortal Hulk. Immortal Hulk. No, so I wasn't. You don't want to go into that. That's going to be so confusing right now. Immortal Hulk's hitting issue number 30. I was actually discussing issue number 25 and how it could tie into all the upcoming Thor, as well as the incoming and all this stuff that's going on cosmic wise, because that was the cosmic issue. But if you haven't been reading the Immortal Hulk, it went cosmic for 25, went back to being the Immortal Hulk on 26. Although we haven't seen the Hulk in a while, it's actually focusing on Bruce Banner and trying to take down Roxcorp and just the way corporation greed and everything else is going on.
Yeah.
It definitely was a big switch from the horror stories, but we'll see where it's going.
Yeah, well, I hate Roxanne, so go Bruce Banner.
Yeah, and you still getting these amazing Alex Ross covers. I mean, as much as I always love the cover Bs, how can you not get the Alex Ross covers? I don't know.
That Marvel's X cover, though, by Michael Del Mundo is
cool.
pretty awesome.
The Del Mundo cover for cover B is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh wait, just the Invaders trade paperback volume 2, because if you weren't reading it, you should have been reading it.
Chip Zdarsky was kicking ass with that.
Fantastic. And the cover for it is the cover of the final issue, where you get the old Invaders and the new Invaders in front of each other, and it's just a perfect way of telling that whole entire story in one image. I really highly recommend it, so pick up the trade paperbacks.
Yeah. For those of you guys who are behind on Magnificent Miss Marvel, issues 7, 8, 9, and 10 are all getting second printings, and they are beautiful looking. So if you missed out on any of those, I know they've been sold out for a while. Get us your orders in. Let's get a restock of Magnificent Miss Marvel going. There are some beautiful covers, including her brand new costume on the number 7 cover.
And again, Marvel is not dumb. The reason they're doing this, I'm guessing, is because that TV series is going to hit Disney Plus. And so they want you prepared, they want you well read on the character, they want you interested in the character. And then I think in issue 11 or 12 we're getting a new character. So
yeah,
something to look for.
All right, I'm going to turn to my master of symbiotes and
Ravencroft. I haven't really been caught up on the Ravencroft story, but we did discuss this previously on a previous FOC. Ravencroft is basically the Arkham Asylum of Marvel. It is where, excuse me, I just totally drew a blank on Cletus Cassidy. Wow, I can't believe I drew a blank on that. Was being held in that whole that Carnage run, as well as the end of the Amazing Spider-Man when he was the Red Goblin. So they're spinning a bunch of, I think, one-shots out of this, right?
Yeah, actually, we get a couple one-shots. We're getting a 5-issue miniseries. They're doing a Marvel's Tales to reprint classic things, and then a bunch of the True Believers are all focused around this. So they're putting a lot of weight into Ravencroft. So.
Yeah, so it's the return of the mentally unstable villains of the Marvel Universe, which, that's a long list, but the way that they're soliciting it and the imagery and everything like that, I'm hoping they're kind of going dark and kind of almost horror with this. I'd really like that because DC did a really good job with that. And I'd like to see Marvel do something similar to that. It'd be a really fun, interesting read.
Yeah, I mean, with Frank Thierry, I pretty much expect it. So, should be some fun stuff. Couple things hitting issue number 2s, like Spider-Ham and Jessica Jones Blind Spot. I really love Jessica Jones Blind Spot. Kelly Thompson did a great job with that. We're getting Spider-Verse number 4, which looks really, really good. Star Wars number 2, continuing the post-Empire Strikes Back story. Second printing of probably the most in-demand Star Wars book I think we've ever had, even more than Star Wars number 1, was The Rise of Kylo Ren. I actually was just talking to Southern California Comics about that. Everyone is going absolutely crazy trying to track this down. That has been, I think, our most called-about comic, where I've constantly had to tell people, I'm sorry, we're sold out. And I ordered more of that than I normally order for a Star Wars miniseries. It's big. It's catching everyone's eye. I guess everyone's on that, episode 9 buzz, and they need a little bit more Kylo Ren.
Yeah, I wish I was more, didn't sleep on that myself, because they're using these comic books, and it's genius. The comics and the novels to explain a lot of the filler that they need to in the movies.
Yeah. Clayton Crane's amazing artwork on the covers. Yeah. Charles D. Soule, the same guy who's writing the main Star Wars series, writing this story that basically bridges the gap between Episode 6 and Episode 7 in the rise of Kylo Ren turning from youngling to Jedi to Sith. It's going to be a big one. So if you didn't get the number 1, and I know most of you didn't, I mean, I know that quite a few did, but most of you didn't, get those orders in. We'll get some second printings in here for that.
Tarot number 2 of 4. 2 covers for that, and then the big one from Donny Cates continues with issue number 2 of Thor, and this is where that conversation came up with the Immortal Hulk. It was just going cosmic and trying to figure out what the Black Winter is, and I don't think that's a spoiler, although I'm sure if you're reading Thor, you've already read number 1. I can't imagine you waited too long to read it. But trying to figure out what the Black Winter is. I know a lot of people are thinking it's Null, but Null being the cop-out answer for everything, doesn't. Null's cool, but I can't think he can be everything for everyone. He might be tied in though. I'm kind of thinking he might be the herald for whatever the one below all is, or something like that. Which would be bringing the Black Winter. That's where I was kind of going with that conversation earlier, and the end of the 8th Cosmos into the 9th Cosmos from Hulk 25. But
returning back to Ravencroft, we have some True Believers. One focusing on the first appearance of Absorbing Man and Journey into Mystery, and the other one on Claw and Black Panther.
I think there was some on last week's too. So
yeah, those are always great. They're $1 reprints of classic first appearances or key issues.
The Weapon Plus program gets to be expanded upon. Now, the Weapon Plus, as you know, it's Weapon X is Wolverine. The Weapon Plus, I think,
covers just about everyone.
Who was it that rebooted it? Was it? I don't even want to remember.
I want to say that was
Ed
Brisson.
Well, I was going to say Ed Brisson, but I didn't want to be wrong. But where
Weapon H?
Basically Captain America started the Weapon Plus program. We recently got the Weapon H. Was that the name of the book? The title,
yes,
title of the
H.
book where he tied Captain America together with Wolverine. And this one we're getting, trying to remember which one he was. This would have been 4. I guess. Yeah, 4. It's right on the cover. I'm so stupid. Where it's basically Man-Thing, and he's just gone complete badass.
That's a lot of bullets.
Yeah, he's just wrapped up in ammo like crazy. He's got a rocket launcher on his back. Looks like an AR-15 on his back, or it's supposed to probably be an M16, but it looks more like an AR. And then just 3 saws in his hand, which is freaking insane.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's going to be a cool book. They're basically going to be doing, I hope, all of them, and giving us more background on how this weapon program all connects one another, and this one being focused on Man-Thing.
Yeah, $5 one-shot that looks really, really badass.
Or as they're calling them in this one, Manslaughter.
Yeah, I love that Scon cover. Yeah, make sure, once again,
if you get both of them.
Yeah, if you want to see all these covers, make sure you click on the previewsworld.com/finalordersdue link in in the comments.
And it wasn't Weapon H, it was called Weapon Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I'm
And
tired. Yeah.
Some posters, which are really cool, propping up the Wolverine coming up.
All sorts of second printings. If for any of you stores that have been under ordering your various Dawn of X books, don't worry, we got you covered on all those. I'll still probably order some later printings for those of you who want alternate covers.
So I know that we were glossing over the X titles because they've been coming out for a while, but X-Force 6 is going to be killer because if you read X-Force 5, you know where that ended up. X-Force is the title that kind of just ends with this, like, what the hell moment.
Yeah, that was a dark little consequence.
X-Men 5, I just want to kind of tease that. That was going to be X-23 along with Darwin, and I'm drawing a total blank on the other character. We were just discussing it with the first appearance.
Man,
I was just telling you about. I'm drawing a total blank. Hey, Ray. Never mind.
Yeah.
Anyways, 3 new characters are getting new roles in this X-Men team, and it looks like they're going to be starting a new arc in this. It's going to be cool.
Yeah, it should be a fun one. All right, moving on, and we're going to wrap things up with the indie publishers. Obviously, Aftershock has things like Animosity and Baby Teeth, one of my favorite Donny Cates books that most of you guys are overlooking. We have, of course, the great cult classics, Creature Feature from Vault Comics alongside Black Stars Above. I know, man. Yeah, it's like a weird night of just exhaustion.
I apologize, everyone.
Yeah. I could talk about I Make Boy Cry, but then I'd be doing it every week, considering that this book just does not seem to get off FOC. It will never, ever release. This book does not have a release date. Let's see. Invader Zim hits its 49th issue as we get close to the big 50 on that one from Jonan Vasquez. For those of you who are fans of Valiant, this one I'm ultra excited about because I can make a big announcement here. Quantum and Woody is coming back. Not only is Quantum and Woody coming back, we're going to be getting Christopher Hastings on writing, Ryan Brown on art, and a Knowhere exclusive cover. Yes, you heard it here. A Knowhere exclusive cover to Quantum and Woody, #1. To go along with the other great covers that you can see by David Nakayama, Andrew Johnson. There is, of course, the David Lopez cover. A really, really great 1 in 100 Fool's Gold cover that looks like it's going to be ridiculously awesome. All sorts of amazing covers for the greatest the greatest duo of superheroes that are absolute fuck-ups you can imagine. If you don't know the Quantum and Woody story, come in and talk to me about it. If you pre-order a book, we've got some special prizes for some of those of you who pre-order, some special Quantum and Woody wristbands. But yeah, it should be some fun stuff.
Who's going to be the artist on the Knowhere one?
I
don't know yet. Sorry, just throwing you under the bus there.
Yeah, threw me under the bus on that one.
I'm sorry. I was just eager.
We'll come back not only with that information, but with a copy of the cover on Monday. We're not going to talk about that because I can't talk about it yet.
Okay.
But Monday we'll have a big announcement on that.
I just wanted to know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Vagrant Queen is coming back. This is a big one from Vault. I actually really, really loved Mags Visaggio. Did a great job with the original series. So great that he got picked up by Sci-Fi to be a TV series. We'll throw a trailer up on the Facebook page tomorrow because I love it so much. I cannot wait for this TV series. And guess what? Vagrant Queen is coming back with a brand new series, an amazing new homage cover on the B cover. But it is a former princess who, think Leia meets Han Solo combined into one character is the best way to describe it.
I'm sorry.
I know. I know.
The trailer for the comic book or for the TV series?
The trailers for the TV series. We'll get a
cool.
trailer for the comic as well, but both are absolutely amazing. I'm super hyped about that. So, yeah. And I think that's everything.
White Widow's still there, so I don't want to miss that.
Yeah, White Widow 4, 5, and 6. But,
is that it? That's everything?
Yeah, that's everything.
Right.
Yeah, that was only a really exhaustingly long conversation. Thank you all for taking your time and listening to us on there. Yeah.
Yeah, Ken's bleeping out your stuff.
Is he? Oh man.
I don't know what it is. George, and yeah, there you go. Ken and bleep.
Yeah. Thank you all for watching. Once again, make sure you get your orders in by Monday at 8 p.m.
So south every time.
Yeah.
Thank you again for watching. One thing before we go, one thing I wanted to kind of throw out there, we've been discussing maybe doing, because Facebook now has the premiere. If you would like to see maybe a premiere for something like FOC where we can show you the images because we do the video beforehand,
Yeah.
and then premiere it live, so we'll be with you in the chat. Let us know if that's something that sounds interesting to you, or if you just like this, you actually like this format better. But anyway,
George.
What about George? Oh, okay, whatever.
But yeah, so if you like that, however you guys like the format, we will change and adjust to make that happen. If you guys say it's stupid, we hate you, we don't want to ever see your faces again, we'll just stop doing it.
And lock the front door.
Yeah, that's okay.
So.
But no, thank you all for watching as always. I love that you guys commit so much time to us each week with these live streams. Whether you're watching it live or watching it at home and just fast forwarding through all the parts where I'm talking so you can just focus on him, I absolutely understand it and greatly appreciate this. Thank you all, as always, for your emails, for your phone calls, for your comments and text messages and Facebook messages to get all your orders in of the covers you want. We truly appreciate all that. We truly appreciate your patronage. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts here at Knowhere as we enter into the deep, dark love of comics in 2020.
Have a good night.
Have a good night,
See you on
guys.
Wednesday.